I don't Agud Voch Rabbi Sai. Lili Nishmasi Mimerosur Mordechai. Welcome to all the guests. Agud Voch. I had a tremendous Shabbos with Reb Eli and his son Avrumi, his mamish Moirdik. Shkoyach for coming. We know each other for what? 4 years? He's been every single day on Zoom. Top box, no? Or maybe just for me. But sometimes he controls the Zoom, but he's been there for pretty much since the beginning of Shas. Rabbi, I just wanted to share with you tremendous news that in the last, well, it's more than 48 hours, but in the last two and a half days, approximately 1,300 Hebrew-speaking people joined the Hebrew Shir. And here's a picture of the first day in Metzia. It's quite a few, because you guys are used to it for here, but for the Hebrew Shir, it's pretty nice turnout. And here we had 80 people approximately for the siyum. This is in my house, the siyum in my house. This is interesting. I usually don't show videos like this, and you'll see why. But because it's a very, very special occasion, Ner Tamid, 137 people were mesayem. So here we go. Oops.
First of all, I want to wish
Let's start from the beginning.
Hello, Rabbi Stefansky. First of all, I want to wish a Mazal Tov Rabbosai. That was pretty good, wasn't it? Okay, we are here celebrating with the Gross family with this scrumptious, amazing, delicious siyum, celebrating with over 160 people. About 137 people finished Bava Kama, which is truly, truly remarkable. And we want to say a big, tremendous thank you to you, Rabbi Stefansky, for teaching us all of Bava Kama. Thank you, Mazal Tov Hashem, to give you the co-op to continue to inspire and teach so many people in Klal Yisroel. Thank you so very much.
Unbelievable. Mamish, a tremendous Kiddush Hashem. And I hope they all continue into Bava Metzia. So Mazal Tov, Yishkarach to Fishel. I believe Fishel is coming to Israel one of these days. And he has, should we say, tomorrow he's coming in, and there's an official siyum on the army base. The whole oilam is invited, no? The more people that come, the better. I have not been to an army base yet, so I'm looking forward. It's in the Gush. Alon Shvot, is there going to be a bus or anything? Maybe. Details to follow. Mazal Tov told him, Simon, my 11-year-old son, has been part of my family since I joined the Shir back in Masechtas Rosh Hashanah. While he's been close to finishing a Masechta a few times tonight, he reserved to make his first siyum on Masechtas Bava Kama, and he wanted me to give you his Akar Satoiv. He credits all the visual aids with giving him a deeper understanding of the daf and a desire to continue to learn and grow as a budding Talmid Chacham. My wife and I wouldn't be happier that he's been devoting his afternoons to learning the daf with you via all daf. We truly thank you for helping him with his love of learning. All the best, Rabbi Adam Dubin. Wow, Mazal Tov, beautiful. 11 years old. Rabbi Sai, 11 years old. This is the siyum in Toronto. See over here, MDY Toronto. Rabbi Sai, I want to show you something very special that they did for the siyum. First of all, check out the steak. What do you see here? Everybody got one of these. They made a shar themed, because Bava Kama, Shvarim, so they made a theme. Wow, what an event. The MDY Toronto Siyum was a tremendous success, marked by incredible ruach and achdos as people from across the city came together to celebrate Torah. Bobby's Diner did a fantastic job preparing mouth-watering rib steaks. Following our shar theme, everyone received the MDY steak knife. And Eli Shochet, aka Iron Chasman, remember, he did his whole triathlon and he did the daf on the way. It was mesayem. Rav David Kanner, our resident Toronto AI expert, which we received a lot of art from him in the past, shared his insights on introducing AI pictures into MDY, reflected on his experience with MDY. I don't know if he introduced it, as much as he helped us out a lot. I think Yoshi was on it. Okay, he helped us out a lot, put it that way. He captured the essence of MDY perfectly, describing MDY as the definition of Yimois HaMashiach, when all Yidden will come together from all backgrounds with true Achdus, Halavai, Bekarv Mamish. Thank you for leading this, I'm saying that. Thank you for leading this amazing movement, for infusing Ruach and Gishmak into every daf, every day. Big heartfelt Yeshukayach from your Talmidim in Toronto. Ari Blau, Mayor Planka, MDY Toronto reps. I've been trying to get a friend of mine to join the daf for a while and finally convinced him to start with us with Bava Metzia maybe. With Bava Kama. Baruch Hashem, he did not miss a day and sent me the following message just before. My father called me today because he heard I'm making a siyum. Told me he's proud of me. First time he said those words to me in my life. Told me he's proud of me. He's right. He asked me to send that to you and to thank you. He's looking forward to Bava Metzia. Wow. Okay. Learning the daf on the way to Mekomis HaKdoshim, Mazal Tov on the completion of Bava Kama, and Rabbi said the last one, Ner Eli. I wrote in a few months ago when I had my 1 year MDY anniversary to tell you about how my wife and I have been struggling to get pregnant when I started the daf, and was then eagerly waiting the arrival of our first child. Well, the day has finally come, and we welcomed our new son, a future MDYer to the tribe. Attached is a picture of my wife. Is a picture my wife took of me doing the daf while she was in labor, and then wanted me learning the next daf with our little boy. What's the earliest I can sign him up for a free Gemara? I hear Bava Metzia is a good one to start on. Mazal Tov, Perry Fox, the Ner Tamid Daf'ers, Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Mazal Tov, Mazal Tov. The Koil is not sponsored by anybody. The Mesech is not sponsored yet by anybody. The month is sponsored. Mazal Tov Ahron, Reb Eli, and the entire mishpacha on the birth of Sophia Ruth. Parnas HaChodesh, Dishmaya zechus ben Moshe, Dishmaya bas Yosef. Parnas HaChodesh, Ahron Fraiman is zechus to Rav Eli, to continue siyadta dishmaya and teaching Torah to Klal Yisroel. Robert Fraser, in loving memory of Hertzel Pinchasi, Ner Tamid Daf'ers Baltimore, Maryland. The heart of the month, anonymous with the zechus for an easy childbirth of his daughter and a healthy baby. Maybe you write to the guys in Hebrew that we're running late. We had technical problems. We're very late. Is it 9 o'clock already? Yeah. They're going to start showing up in a half hour.
You can do it. You can finish in a half hour. It's okay.
My name is not Rabbi Didi Kramer. Okay. I mean, we might be able to finish by 9:45, maybe, but they're going to start coming at 9:30. Some of them started coming. Okay. The boys say, Yishkar for coming out. A nice crowd for Motzei Shabbos. We're holding on Daf Gimel Amud Aleph. Here's a question for the Olam, and if you were here, again, the rules are, I have to say this every day because it's the same people that try to answer the same questions. So, why, where are you? Why? If you were here the day before, and this applies to all days, for the rest of Shas, do not answer, okay? Where's the other guy? You also. The rest of Shas. Okay, thank you. If a person eats chaylev, eats the prohibited fats of the animal, he has to bring a carbon. What if he doesn't even know about it? Eidim tell him, you ate chaylev. Is that mechayiv him a carbon? Anybody?
Yes.
Oh, I said anybody that was here yesterday? Okay, I know you weren't here. So we're going to see. It's one of the things we're going to learn. So we had like this. The other day we learned, actually yesterday, we learned, the Gemara was trying to say that perhaps our Mishnah that says two people holding on to a beged, a talus. This one says it's mine, this one says it's his. This one says the whole thing is mine, the other one says the whole thing is his. We said it's two different cases. The Gemara says maybe our Mishnah doesn't go like sumchos, maybe it doesn't go like bananas. The Gemara says it could go like them. And now we're up to the third one. We're holding like 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 lines from the top of Gimel Amud Aleph. Lema masnisin deloik Reb Yosi. We're trying a third one. Perhaps our Mishnah doesn't go like Reb Yosi. So here's the case, Rabbi Isai, here's the case. We have a guy that he's a gemach. He owns a gemach. People give him money. At the very exact same time, two people came and gave him money. One gave him 100, one gave him 200. So the very least is, each one gave him 100. One gave him double, gave him 200. Then, he doesn't recognize who gave him what, because they haven't at the same exact time. Then they come back and say, I'm the one that gave the 200. They both wanted 200. So let's think about it for a second. He owes each one how much? At least 100. The question is on the final 100, who do you give it to? So Chachamim say, you give each one 100, and the other 100 you put in a box, you wait until Mashiach comes. Rabbi Yosef says no. All 300 goes in a box until the Yahanavi comes. Why? What's pshat? He owes each one 100. So we want to make sure that the Rama, the guy that's lying, is going to fess up. We need to put some pressure on him. We need to force him into saying the truth. And how do we do it? By taking his money. He doesn't want to lose his 100. So you know what, you're right. It's not me. I don't have 200. Give me back my 100. So that's the machlokes. Now let's see inside. Our Mishnah, what does our Mishnah say? Two people are holding on to the talus. Each one is, it's mine. So you know what you should do? You should take the talus and put it into a box. Wait until the Navi comes. Rabbi Yossi says, what did the liar lose? Let's take all three, put in a box. So somebody else also, everything should be there, and take the whole talus, put in a box. Says Gemara, Rabbanan. So you think it's better to go like Rabbanan? It's very familiar lashon. We had the exact same thing yesterday. It should be Rabbanan. So what do Rabbanan say? Rabbanan say each one gets 100, and the final 100, that's what you put away until Eliyahu Hanavi comes. We have a problem. What's the 100? The 100 is what we have a suffix on. We don't know what to do with the 100. The other 100s that each one gets, because we don't have a suffix. The talus, the entire talus is a suffix. So the entire talus is like the 100 that's left over. So put that 100 in a box. You take the whole talus, put it in a box. There's no difference in the whole talus and the 100. Forget about that each guy got 100. It's a different story. On what we have a suffix on, that we put away until Eliyahu Hanavi comes. So by the talus, we have a suffix on the whole talus. It doesn't go like Rabbanan either. Why do you do Yachloiku in our Mishnah? Each one makes a shvuah and you split it down the middle. Why? Says Gemara, no. And again, it's mimicking the same lashon as an Amud Beis. I'm just trying to point out that you see like different mesechtas, different daffim written by different Amoraim, very similar style. I'll remind you, it even said Aleph Beis in Rosh Tevis on Amud Beis. We can fit it in with Rabbanon. Why? Hasam, the case of each one gave 100, one gave 200, right? The 300 case. One of them is 100% lying. The 100 is owned 100% by one of the guys. You can't divide it. In our case, where we could say that it's owned by both, that's why Rabbanan would fit into our Mishnah. Over there, it makes sense to put it away until Eliyahu Hanavi comes because it's only one person that's the rightful owner. So we have to put it away. We don't know who the rightful owner is. If we divide it, you're messing somebody up. You're taking away half of his thing. So we can't do that either. But by a talus, by us dividing it, maybe we'll be mechaven to the truth. Maybe the truth is that both of them picked it up simultaneously. And they both own it. So it's possible to do a chalukah and divide it down the middle. Okay, so that's why they say, split it. Also, we'll invoke a shvuah. So if somebody's lying, he'll fess up. It's possible they're not lying. Okay. Eliyahu Rabbi Yossi, but it cannot go like Rabbi Yossi. Why? Hashtu ma'asam. Even in a case where you're 100% certain that each one deserves 100 back, the whole question was on the third 100. But on 101 and 102, like in this one right over here, each one deserves 100. Nevertheless, he says, we punished them. We want to punish the bad guy, the liar. So certainly, over here, that's not pashut that somebody owns, that each one owns half of the talis. It's very possible that the talis is owned just by one of them. So certainly you should put it away and punish the guy to lie, the guy that might be lying. Says the Gemara, Afilu Temer Reb Yosi. No, it could go like Reb Yosi. Hassam, the case with the 300 mana, the 300, the 100 and the 200, Vadi Kiramai. Over there, the reason why he's putting the pressure on is because we know that one of them is lying. One of them gave 100, one of them gave 200. There's no shaila that that's what happened. The question is who owns the final 100. But one of them is lying. 100% he's lying. So if 100% lying, let's put the pressure on the liar. So that's why he says, you know what? He threatens them. See if someone's going to call his bluff. All 300 goes in a box until the Eliyahu comes. So one guy's going to have to fess up and say, listen, I lied. But in our case of a talis, who says, again, same svara, who says that somebody's lying? Even if somebody's lying, he doesn't know he's lying. Right? You play, I don't know, I used to play basketball a lot. Two people, each one could be nishba that he didn't step on the line. No, 100%, these big fights in the court. Because they think, each one thinks that he's saying the truth. Nobody's lying. He saw it like this and he saw it like that. He thought he picked it up first. Happens to be the other guy picked it up a millisecond before him. He's not lying, and a shvu is not going to help in that case. What's the shvu going to help? He'll swear, I picked it up first. He mamish thinks he picked it up first. You show him in the video, oh, yeah, I messed up, sorry. Inami, another pshat. Over there, by putting on the pressure, the guy's going to admit when the 100 and the 200. But over here, what will he gain? If he doesn't own the talis and he saw somebody picking up a talis from the Metzia, he found something. So he goes over and he grabs onto it. Oh, we're going to put the pressure on. We're going to put it in a box. Not pressure. He never owned it to begin with. He's stopped being a mechutzav and grabbing it. So it doesn't work in this case. So talking about a guy that's lying and then I'll give you half, I'll take half. So I want to tell you a murder gemaisa that's going around from Reb Zechariah Wildstein, zechus. We had the big zechus of, you were probably there. You remember what mesayem was? The siyuman mesayem. It was in the 5 towns back in the day. And Reb Zechariah spoke to us, but this is not what the story says. I'm just saying he was a very, very chashuv yid. He was a balabas who did a tremendous amount. They wrote a book about him, if not, maybe even more than one book. At least one book. I have a book at home from him. So he said this Mari Gemaisa, he said, a true story. And I mamish relate to the story because the exact same story happened to me with the exact denomination. So the first part, not the good part. A guy comes to someone and says, listen, help me out for 2 days. 2 days. I need 10 grand for 2 days. He says, what, 2 days? He says, yeah, something's closing. I have a shortfall over here. You give me the money, and 2 days. I promise you, swear to you. Here. You sure? Yeah. He gives him $10,000, and 2 days come and go, and the guy doesn't return it, so he calls him up. Yeah, I'm coming, going, this, that. A week goes by, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. Then he's screening his calls, he's not picking up anymore. This, that. He meets him once in a while, he crosses the street. 2 years go by. Okay, it happened to me in Ma'aseh Shaya. If anybody ever tells you the story he needs money for 2 days, don't trust him so fast. So, one day, the lender gets a call from the borrower. He says, yeah, you remember I borrowed 10,000? Yeah, I remember, yeah. No. He says, listen, I have 5,000 right now. If you come within 15 minutes, I'll give you the 5,000. If not, I don't know what's going to happen after 15 minutes. You got to come within 15 minutes. Now, this guy lives in Williamsburg, and he's in Borough Park. He says, okay, I got to go. Gets in his car, 90 miles an hour on the FDR drive. He's flooring it. He's cutting people off. And sure enough, sirens. He pulled the guy over. He's like, "Boy, Shalom. All I want is my $5,000. Now on top of that, I don't get my $5. I'm going to also get a ticket." Kitzer, cop shows up. The way he says it, I've never seen this on the FDR. He says it's like one of those highway troopers with the hat. They have those on the FDR drive with the boots, the whole thing. Tough guy. He says, license registration. He says, "Officer, before you say anything, I got to tell you the story. This guy owes me $10,000 for 2 years. This way, that way, phone calls, lying. Today, he just called me up. Look." He says, "We think I was born yesterday. I heard that story 1,000 times. Yeah, I know your wife is about to give birth, and I know this, I know that, and I've heard it all. License registration." So he says, "Listen, let's make a deal. Let's go to this guy's house. If he gives me the $5,000, you don't give me a ticket. If not, write me a ticket." She says, "You know what? Deal." He puts on his lights and siren, and he goes, they start flying through that DR drive. And he's thinking to himself, interesting story, but Lamaisa, that guy better be home and he better have the money because this is going to cost me big time." Kids said they climb up the stairs over there in Bar Park. They knock on the guy's door. The guy opens the door, and he looks, and he sees this big, giant cop. Looks, he says, "Listen, I lied. I really have $10,000. I just said $5,000, but I didn't cop. You can bring a cop with you." And he gave him $10,000. My story ended up a little different. The Emerson story. The guy doesn't watch the daf. I hope nobody tells him. I went to the police. Emerson's story. After a long time, I went to the police. I filed a report. The guy's filling out all the details. I showed him the bounced checks, the whole thing. All of a sudden, he looks at me and goes, "This is not even. We can't even deal with this. This is a small claims court. What are you even doing here?" I said, "Can I have that, please?" And he gave me his report. Then I went to the wife or the mother. I don't remember exactly. And I said, "Look, the cops are going to show up here in 10 minutes. Here's the report." And they gave me my money on the spot. They gave me the money, they paid back. Fine. But, Mishatani Bach. I got my money back. 9 months later, they were still not talking to me. MS. 9 years later, 20 years later, came out, still not talking to me. The break at me because I got my money back. Okay, whatever. Happens. All right, fine. Zok the Gemara. They finally know the story. I never told them what that cop thing was. Well, hopefully nobody tells them the story. All right, weiter. Where are we holding? I thought we're done with the daf. Okay, yeah. Says the Gemara. Tainach Metzia. This whole thing works with a lost item. He's going to lose money. When we're talking about, we said the Mishnah is talking about two cases. There's a case of you find an item, there's a case of you're purchasing an item. If each person purchased an item, each person gave money, and we take it and we put it away in a box. When it comes to Metzia, he said he has nothing to lose. He just grabbed somebody's talus. So you put it in a box until Eliyahu comes. The liar didn't lose anything. No, that's great. But what about when you purchase something? You gave the owner of the store, you gave him $100, and the other guy gave $100. Now, if you punish them, and we take the $200 and put it in a box, somebody's going to have to fess up and say, "Hey, I lied." Says Gemara, "Hello." We have to go back to the original teretz. That when it comes to the 3 manas, the 200, 100, over there's a vade raman. Somebody's for sure lying. That's why we have to put it in a box. But over here, by a talus, there's no vade raman. That's why it's different. Says the Gemara, "Bein l'Rabbanon, bein l'Reb Yosi, hasam gabi chem al Pinchasi." Oh, chem al Pinchasi. Let's see. So, let me show you real quickly coming up Pinchasi. Let's see if we have it here somewhere. Okay. So you remember, there's a shopkeeper, there's an employer, and there's a worker. 3 guys. The shopkeeper is asked by the employer, "Could you please produce to my worker. I don't have cash. He's going to come to your store. He's going to take whatever he wants, or up to a certain amount. And at the end of the week, I pay. Great. Shopkeeper says fine. So the worker comes to the employer and says, I need to get paid. So the employer says, I thought you went to the store to buy stuff. He says, no, I never went. The shopkeeper comes to the employer and says, I need to get paid. Your worker came here and he took $1,000 worth of stuff. Give me $1,000. So what? But the worker said he never came to you. Well, he's lying. The worker says the shopkeeper's lying. Kitzer, what do you do? So, it's machlokes, right? Either the employer has to pay both, or he pays both with the shvuah. Fine. But he has to pay both. So says the Gemara, Hassam bein l'Rabbanan. Let me just tell you a real quick Maisa, because we were talking about this before, but this is Motzei Shabbos, and nobody's going to come for the Israeli shares, so it doesn't matter. Over here in Eretz Yisrael, they have these, you go to the Makolet, and we spoke about this. Everybody, it's starting like 25 minutes. Okay. Everybody comes to Makolet, nobody has money in this country, so you buy credit. You give a number, and then you buy whatever you want. At the end of the month, you have to pay, and you don't pay, and then you do it another month. Fine. So the guy comes to pay, and it's like double the usual bill. So he tells the store owner, he says, what's going on here? He says, what do you mean what's going on there? Your son comes every morning, and he buys 6 rolls with choco and chocolate and this and that. He says, what do you mean, my son? I don't have a son. I have 7 daughters. I don't have a single son. Oh, so they sit and they wait. And sure enough, the kid shows up. It's the neighbor from down the block. Every morning he steals. He takes stuff and he puts it on the guy's cheshbon. So who has to pay? Who has to pay? You're not going to believe what Reb Zilberstein said. I don't know if that's the halacha. That's how he passes it. Who?
The guy, not the kid.
What about the Baal Makolet should pay?
No, the guy.
Why? You didn't do it. The kid overheard the number.
Because he was asking to put his number on. And
Okay, that's what Reb Zilberstein says, that the guy has to pay the whole thing. Go figure. Okay. No, he's not bar mitzvah. We had a similar problem saying we had some kids in the neighborhood that were, it's MDY. They don't care if we buy candy on the cheshbon like every month. Okay. And it didn't help us that our number, I'm not joking, was 10. 10. How hard could that be? 10. Everybody, 10. It's like, okay, that's an easy number to remember. Weiter. Is it very hot? Yeah, no, it's good. It's too hot. Fine, we'll wait until next year. Zog the Gemara. So, we're holding by... Oy vey, that's what we're holding. No more stories. Bein l'Rabbanan, bein l'Reb Yossi. Hasam gabi chaveni al pinkas the toni zenish bavenoitel. Ask the Gemara about question. In this case, when you have the work and the shopkeeper, the 2 liars, one of them is lying for sure. How come they both swear and they get paid? Take it out of the owner. The owner has to pay, that's for sure. So let him take the money, put it in a box, and do what? Wait until Eliyahu Hanavi comes. One of them is certainly lying. Amri, so what's the difference? Beautiful difference. I'll just say about pet, and we'll see it inside real quickly. Over there, the shopkeeper tells the employer, I don't know the worker. He's not my business. You told me to give somebody stuff. I gave him. It's between you and the worker. You figure it out. Now, pay me. The worker says the same exact thing to the employer. I don't know who the shopkeeper is. I don't care who the shopkeeper is. He could swear to me 20 times in 20 Sifri Tires. You owe me money, pay me. So the employer is stuck dealing. He's the one that hired the shopkeeper. He told the shopkeeper to pay. He's the one that told the worker. So now he's stuck. So he has to pay them. There's no din and dvarim between the two. Says the Gemara, Amri. The shopkeeper tells the employer, I did what you told me to do. I don't care about the worker. Even if he would swear to me, I don't care. He doesn't bother me in shvuah, doesn't help me. You trusted him? You never mentioned take witnesses this. You just said give him food. I gave him food. I did exactly what he told me to do. And the flip side also. And the worker tells the employer, I work for you. What do I have to do with the shopkeeper? It's not my problem with him. Even if he swears to me, I don't trust him. Hilkoch, Tarvai Mishtavi, that's why both swear, Shakli, Mibalabais, and they both take from the employer. Tony Reb Chia. This is very important, Rabbi Yisai. We're going to be dealing with Reb Chia today, tomorrow. This is maybe not a difficult sugya, but maybe a few less stories than usual for the next day or two. The stories we did already. We have to debate that it's not complicated at all. It's Reb Chia. I'll just say that in yeshiva we learned this for 3 weeks straight, and we spent a lot of time on it, on just this one Amud. The next Amud is another 3 weeks. Okay, but bemis, not complicated at all. You owe me money. Now think about it. It's beautiful. Let's talk about it for a second. If a person is a moedim in miktas, right? We all know that if somebody comes to someone and says, you owe me 100, and the guy says, not true, I only owe you 50. What's the halacha? Shvuah, right? He has to pay the 50 plus he has to swear. Why? He's called a moedim in miktas. What if he says, I don't know you anything? And two Eidim pop up and they said, you're a liar, you owe 50. Could Eidim be like himself? He himself, if he admits he's a moedim miktas, he has a problem admitting the truth. The two Eidim, they admit for him. Could they invoke a shvuah, yes or no, Rabbi Yisai? That's Reb Chia. Why not?
The only reason why we do it is because a person wouldn't want to admit not such a...
Oh, he's saying Rabbah. He knows Rabbah, that a person really is not a liar, and he's trying to buy time, and if we make him do a shvuah, mamish mecham to the Gemara. So that's the Gemara, yeah. I said simple stuff. Says the Gemara, sorry. Let's start from the top. He denies the whole thing. Oh, I don't know if we need this, but why not? He did it. Let's do it. Here we go. The guy, I just love the guy's shoelaces. This is gewaldig. I had a roommate like this, mamish. Maybe it was me. Who knows? Chaim, can I borrow 100 from you? He gives him 100. Sure. I lent him 100 and he's not paying. I owe only 50. I don't have money, but he's thinking to himself, I'm embarrassed to deny everything. I'll pay later. So swear him 50 and pay 50. That's a moedim miktas. Now, the twist is that he didn't admit. Two witnesses said that he's lying. Okay, he has to swear. Says the Gemara that when a person admits himself, he has to swear. So it can't be his mouth can't be better or make him do something that two Eidim. Eidim are the best of the top. Two Eidim could kill somebody. So Eidim shouldn't make him do a shvuah. You have a kavachomer. We'll see. This is beautiful. Oh, where are you? Come. Here, you two guys, come here. We gotta do this quick, so get over it quickly. Right? The case of Shnai Merchas Metalis. Here, we have a talis. Oh, beautiful talis.
Hey, wait a minute, that's mine.
Oh, he's a pro. That's mine. It's mine.
All mine.
Foolishly.
This is
okay.
all mine.
Now, Rabbi, see what's going on here.
These two guys, see that at least half of this is mine.
Oh, very nice. So we have Eidim. The Eidim say, these two guys are Eidim. Are you 13 yet? Mazal Tov. Thanks for inviting me to your bar mitzvah. Okay, anyways. So these two Eidim, they testify that at least half is his. This guy, Morty and Shamshi, they are testifying that this half is mine. But what's really going on here is that they don't exist. They're invisible, Eidim. They don't exist. It's a non-sahada. We know there's a Eidos that he owns half. What does the Mishnah tell us? The Mishnah says that he has to swear that he owns half, and I swear. So, be'etzem, what we see here is that he's swearing. I'm swearing because he has Eidim on this half, that this half is his, and I'm being moedim miktas. I'm admitting because of the Eidim They caused me to admit. I didn't admit anything. I'm lying. I'm saying the whole thing is mine. I'm pulling. So I say I'm a kofer b'hakol, but these two Eidim are admitting for me. The fake Eidim, the invisible Eidim are admitting for me. That's why I have to swear. Why am I swearing? Think about it. Why in the Mishnah it says I have to swear that half is mine? The reason is because there's two Eidim that made me into a Moed B'Miktzah, says the Gemara. Which two Eidim? Invisible Eidim. Okay? Shkoyach. Very nice. Doilim Chaps, yeah? Klar. Now let's see inside. They're right, so why not? Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what it is. Now, there's a little bit of a problem that the Gemara is going to discuss later. I also have Eidim that say that half is mine, so I'm not really a Moed B'Miktzah. Okay, each one has Eidim. Fine. Oh, there's an answer. There's Eidim that are testifying, not real Eidim, but we are the Eidim for the Maita Tavas Hadideyu. He grabbed half, so that's his. Umay the Tavas Hai, and what I grabbed, Dideyu, is mine. I have Eidim also. Uktani Shava. Oh, it's a raya. The why are you swearing? You're swearing because the Eidim forced me to be a Moed B'Miktzah. So even in the case of Moed B'Miktzah, through Eidim, you have to make a shvuah. Says Gemara, okay, great. Now, what did he mean? Why would I think for a second that when a person admits, he makes a shvuah, but when two Eidim come and they make me admit, not. The opposite. Eidim are much stronger. Oh, so that's what Reb Eli was saying. You, Reb Eli, what was the having? There's logic to say that a person who admits we should invoke a shvuah because he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy. He's just looking to buy time. All these excuses and all these bad checks that he writes, and yes, I'm coming over right now, and if you come within 15 minutes, I'll give it to you. I just left and you came in 16 minutes. All these excuses, because he's a good guy. He just doesn't have money. He never doesn't have money. He's trying to buy another day. It's wrong. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. It's wrong. But a shvuah will help, because he's not a liar. He's just buying time. So when you give him a shvuah, no. You're right. I take it back. So, Rabbi says, by the way, I saw here, and the Rambam talks about it, when the Torah, you're not supposed to give a reason for mitzvahs, right? Because the Torah gives a reason twice, and Oisei Tzaddik was nifshal in both times. Shlomo HaMelech, he tripped up twice on the two things that the Torah said. The Torah says don't have many wives and don't have many horses. And on both of those things he tripped up, because he thought that the reason is this and this, and I'm above that reason. And he fell. So we don't give reasons to the Torah. But when the Torah does give a reason, it's not because that is the reason. But the Rekanti says, and the Rambam and Moreh Nevuchim say, they both say that it's to give us a cheshek in the mitzvah, to give us a little bit of a flavor. Not that, we know the reason. No, there's different reasons. A lot of shivim panim the Torah and the whole thing. Different reasons. We'll give you a little bit of flavor. So, not that this is the pshat over in the Gemara, I'm giving you the reason, but if you want a little of the backstory over here, it's more like, he should be there's a migui here. There's a migui. He could have lied. If he's a liar, he could have said, I don't know anything. That's what the Gemara means here. But you should know that we'll give you a little bit of the taste. That what? Why does he make a shvuah? We have a chazaka person. He's not a mechutzev. Somebody did him a favor, gave him $10,000. He's not going to be able to look him in the eyes and say, you never lent me money. That he can't do. It's impossible. Napoleon said he could do it. Yidden have a certain busha. They can't do it. Sire of Shviel, where we started very late. But you could come for the English also, you speak English. And in fact, he should have psychologically denied the whole thing. Why didn't he deny it? He should have really admitted on the whole thing. But he's not a bad guy. He's not going to lie to a shvu. He's not going to say shvu sheker. The reason why he didn't admit to everything, he has a little bit of a yetzara, a little one. He has a little yetzara that causes him to say lies so he can buy some time. He doesn't have a big yetzara that's going to go and say shvu sheker, which is going to shake up the whole world. That he's not going to do. So this is what the Torah said, put a shvu on him, that he should admit to everything. But the difference is that works when a person admits on his own. But now when you are a big liar with a big giant Yetzirah, and you're forced into it through the Eidim that you had no idea existed. They came forward and they said, hey, you're a liar. Now she was not going to work for him. Why? Because he's a bad guy. He lied completely. A guy that admits a little bit is a good guy, just with the little Yetzirah. Shua works for not this guy. I would think that's different. That's why I would think it's different, says the Gemara. Kamash malon, kal v'chomer. And that's why the B'chia says I have a kal v'chomer. So what is the kal v'chomer? My kal v'chomer. Says the Gemara, my piv. Sponsors. Turned off by Kidnovations LLC in honor of my Uncle Reb Elchanan Pressman and zechus Akiva Simcha Ben Feiga. Ner Tamid of Baltimore, Maryland, in honor of Fishel and Simcha Gross. Thanks to them, 137 people learned 16,166 daffim, over 727,470 minutes, and we're mesayem Bava Kama with MDY. Incredible. So what's the Gavachomer? Uma Gavachomer. Uma piv. Piv. A person's own mouth when he's moed b'miktzas. You cannot owe money through your own mouth, but it could invoke a shvua. You're moed b'miktzas. Eidim are much stronger than an individual. Eidim could invoke a payment of money, so certainly they should invoke the shvua. Says Gemara, what are you talking about? What? A mouth cannot obligate somebody to pay. What he does, look at this, Rabbi said, beautiful. And if you were here on Friday, look at it now, change a little bit. There's 100 Eidim that say, he stole, I stole. It's the same thing, has the same power. If a person says, I stole, he has to return the Gneva. Says Gemara, no, my mammon knas. So listen to this. What I meant, it can't be mechayiv money, or I meant a penalty. Umapiv shem mechayiv knas, mechayiv shvua, his own math that cannot obligate oneself. Because if a person steals, right? A person steals, he's a ganav, and he admits that he stole. Does he pay kefil? Does he pay dal vehei? No. Because you don't pay the knas, moide beknas. But his own mouth cannot force him to pay a penalty, but it forces him to make a shvua. Eidim shemechayv noisei knas, and he didn't shemechayv noisei shvua. Let's just see what he did here. A little bit of a, you see here. If you want to see, it goes like this: Piv, his own mouth cannot be mechayev mammon, but it's mechayev shvua. Eidim that could be mechayev mammon, certainly they mechayev shvua. So we say, but piv. So let's go to the next one. Mal piv shekei mechayev karban. His mouth. Let's just jump off this for a second. Look at this. I just want to show you this. Moide b'knas potters the soid and shas fine. A person says vido, he feels bad that he sinned. He brings a carbon based on his own words. So that's what I asked in the beginning of this year. If two Eidim come forward and say, hey, you ate chaylev, the Gemara says over here, no, you don't bring a carbon on that. It has to be himself. It can't come through Eidim. So you see that his mouth is stronger. Don't bring me a kavachomer from a mouth. to Eidim that Eidim certainly should be Mechayev Shvuah. No, a mouth could force you to bring a carbon where Eidim cannot. Says Gemara, no, Eidim could. Why? There is a shita that says you could. Okay, so once you know that Eidim could make you bring a carbon, so therefore now I have the Kavachimer again, that if Piv, his own mouth, when he's Moed Miktsas, forces him to make a Shvuah, certainly Eidim, like we had in this case, Eidim could make you make a Shvuah, and that's Reb Chia's case. Reb Chia says that Eidim can make you make a Shvuah of Moed Miktsas. This nan, Eidim come forward and say, you ate chaylev. And he says, not true. Here, Reb Meir says that Eidim could force you to bring a carbon. Or Reb Meir, if two people could give a death penalty, force a death penalty, like the carbon kal, in Chil Shabbos, right? Two Eidim testify that this guy carried without an Eruv on Shabbos, and they warned him not to, and he did anyway. Misa. So if the two Eidim came along and said, hey, you carried on Shabbos by mistake, he shouldn't have to bring a carbon chatos. They could kill him. Not a chat. No. Gemara. No, he has a way out of it. He could say, I was amazed. I did it deliberately. And if he did it deliberately, he doesn't bring a carbon. So let me ask you a question. We have a concept in Shas. A person is not trusted and believed that he did something wrong. How can we believe him? Hey, I was Mechal Shabbos. I ate chaylev on purpose. He's not believed. Says Tosfos, he is believed. Why? Special chiddush, says Tosfos. Because he doesn't want to bring a carbon to the Azara, Chulun Azara. If he in fact ate chaylev on purpose, so you're forcing him to bring a carbon, and it's also to bring a carbon for nothing. It's Chulun and Azara. He doesn't want to do that, so he's being about tshuva. About tshuva, who says, I sinned, but I don't want to do another Aveira, we trust him. So then the big question is, what happens? Let's say a woman is on her deathbed, and she tells the Rav, listen, I was Mizana, I need to do tshuva with me. And all of a sudden she has a miraculous recovery. Do we believe her? And now she's also to her husband. Typically a woman is not believed. Believe it or not, if a woman comes forward and says, I was Mizana, she's not also to her husband. Unless he believes her in this and that. But over here, the Achrayim say she would be believed because she wasn't trying to be answer herself. She's trying to do tshuva. Okay, and there's a bunch of different cases. There's a story with the Shoichet also. He's on his deathbed. He asked the Rav for forgiveness. I need tshuva. I didn't tell the community. I shechted and with a knife that was pogum, and I fed treif to the community. So the Rav paskin that everybody has to kasher their kalim, and then the guy had a miraculous recovery. He felt like an idiot, and the Rav said, you could only shecht with a mashgiach. He let him shecht with a mashgiach, but then he tried to get out of it and so the Rav said, no, that's it. You can never shecht again. And kids, there's stories like this that when you're trying to do tshuva, says Tosfos, then you are believed to make yourself a rasha because now you're trying to be a better person. It's not as though a guy says, I'm a rasha, I'm a murderer, we don't trust you. If a guy's trying to do tshuva, says Tosfos, he doesn't want to bring Chulun Azara, then we'll believe him. Says the Gemara. Elo Malapiv Shekem Chayv Yoshim. Again, let's take it from the top, slow. We want to say in a case where two Eidim came by and said, hey, you owe 50 out of the 100. You don't admit to anything, but we are testifying that you owe a half. Could that invoke a shvuah? Oh, look, if he admitted himself, he's chayv shvuah. But his mouth is stronger than Eidim because he can make himself bring a hasham. Says Gemara, no, hasham ain't a carbon. We said it before that according to Rameir, anyways, Eidim can make you bring a carbon. Ella, again, don't learn a kavachimer Eidim to mouth. Ella malabim shekem chayv chaymish. You know that if a person lies and he says, I didn't steal, I swear I didn't steal. A shomer chinam that says it got lost and he really stole it, and he swears, and then he admits, What's the halacha Rabbi from Bava Kama? He has to pay the principal. He has to pay a chaymesh. How much is a chaymesh? 25%, and a carbon. So the chaymesh part, his mouth, by admitting, brought it, and Adam can't force that either. Says Gemara like Kasher, no, Adam could force it. So let's just do this real quickly. Hakasha. Hakasha means, let's say the first Adam say, we saw the guy in the big red beard kill a guy. Then, so the center guys, they say, not true. The guy never died, or somebody else killed him. Okay? Kimtzerain. That's Akasha. Akasha means to, how do you say it in English? Refute. Okay. To refute what he said. They said, hey, no. Hazam is much stronger. Hazam is saying that you two Eidim, yeah, you're saying that you saw it. Imanu Isem. You're with us on the cruise, right? The famous on the cruise thing. By the way, I didn't know this, but there are people that are sensitive to this picture. The Belzer, he took the pictures home, and this one he erased, like magic marker on it. Yeah, they're not wearing clothing. This he didn't want to show his wife. It could be priestess. I don't know. Oh, Zach. Okay. So those of you that are sensitive, so we'll blur it out for you. Whatever. We'll have to. Your program that you're telling me, your filter would blur this whole thing out. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, but if you admit something, I can't refute it, and I can't say Imanu Yisam. You're still chayiv. Okay. So says the Gemara. So your mouth is stronger than Adam. Adam, you could kill based on the Hazama. You could penalize them based on Hazama. That kosher works. Mouth not. Okay, I have a kavachomer that what? That two Adam can force you to make a shvua based on an Eidechad. A very simple kavachomer. A single aid cannot obligate somebody to pay money, but a single aid could force a shvua. So certainly two Eidim could force a shvua because they mechayev mama. We're going to go back on this tomorrow, Beis Hashem. But Eidechad is different because when he says you owe money or whatever he says, he forces shvua on that piece. But in the case of Eidim, they say that we know for a fact that he borrowed 50. So he's making a shvua on the other 50. On the 50 that they testify that he has to pay. The shvuas on the 50 they're not testifying. So it's very different than any Echad, says the Gemara. Boisai, have a wonderful week. See you tomorrow, Beis Hashem. Bright and early.